hello. Welcome everybody to another Keep6org Instagram Live. I am your co-host Rachel. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for our first in 2021. We've got two guests that are going to be on today, so very, very excited for that. So welcome, just waiting for a few people to join on. We have today's special guest Latoya Jane, and we have special guest Slum, who are both going to be joining us on Instagram Live. So I'm just going to give everyone a few minutes to jump on. Today we're going to be talking with two individuals who have previously been incarcerated, and we're going to be talking about how they were able to overcome the barriers that were put in front of them, what they're doing currently, and how music has been something that's really safeguarded them in their transition. So welcome all. Hi Natasha, I see you there. Welcome. So we've got, as mentioned, Latoya and Slum, who's going to be on. Just seeing who we will have first. Hello. Okay, so I do see Slum. So let's start with him because I don't see Latoya. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song that Slum actually just released this year. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, of course. It's my pleasure.
Amazing. So I was just telling everyone that you just came out with a song recently
Yeah.
called Remember Christmas.
Yeah. That is my baby. Well, not just mine. I should say I got a shout out to my fellow artists out there, 12th Parallel and Ian Jumpa. It was a pleasure to work with them on that song. Honestly, they were doing some really creative stuff. Hey man, can you turn the TV down a bit? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, they were just doing some really creative stuff, and I really appreciate all the work that was put into that song because it was my first time. Like I've done a little bit of recording in my past. When I was younger, I was hanging around a lot of people that did hip hop, and I had them help me make a few songs. But this is the first time I did it all myself. I was just downloading the programs and kind of learning as I go, and kind of just doing things. I was like Googling everything, and I was on YouTube and just trying to figure things out. And it was a difficult process, but it definitely made me more patient as a human being and more appreciative of what people are doing in the music industry today, because it's a lot of hard work. And anyone that's put the work in, I just have haluva respect for, and I'm just inspired by them. I'm inspired by them, and I'd love to reach that level at some point in my life.
Yeah. And you know what? It's true, because oftentimes we see music that's being released. We see a lot of different individuals, different backgrounds doing it. And sometimes we don't take into account how much really goes into what that they're doing.
Yeah, these artists, they seem to pop up overnight, right? With millions of views and all these people that love them, but you don't understand how they built that fan base or the time and energy. You don't see the 10 years behind building up to that point. You know what I mean? You just see them getting there, right? And you think it happened overnight, but it definitely didn't.
So this song, Remember Christmas, I'm going to play it in a little bit, but I listened to it, and there was quite a few things that really were very deep. And I feel that this is a song that comes from a place from within for you. So one of the things that I remember you saying was that this has now been the 4th year without your daughter.
Yeah, so 4th Christmas without my baby girl. That line right there is so deep and so personal, and like putting that in my music. Like I'm working with a group right now. An artist, Tribe 1491. He has a group of artists together. We're doing like we started as a rap university where he was teaching us how to rap, and now we're a rap team where we're working together. We're helping each other learn how to rap, and in the future we're going to be teaching young people that are involved in the criminal justice system how to rap and keeping them out of trouble through hip hop. So it's really exciting stuff that we're doing with him, and this this team that I'm working with, like uh, they I forgot where I was trying to go with that for some reason. I don't know, but yeah, no,
You've a lot of aspirations in terms of where you want to go and what you want to do with your music, and it's amazing to see this. The start. This is really just the beginning for you, right?
yeah, no, this is definitely the very beginning, but you know, the sky's the limit, and I don't necessarily make music for anybody else. I make music for myself, right? It's
Yeah.
for me, it's therapeutic, and it helps me get through the things that I'm working on in my own personal life,
Mhm.
and like yeah,
So
but
speaking
if
on that, I like what you said about music being therapeutic for you.
yeah.
And I know one of the parts in the song you spoke about keeping your mental up.
Yeah, so that was Ian Jumpa, and he like the entirety of the song, the theme of the song. We're talking about tough times, maybe tough times at Christmas. A lot. It was Christmas time when we released the song, and you know, a lot of people had a tough 2020. You know, and a lot of my like the guys that were working on the song, they felt it. You know what I mean? We felt it. We are done with 2020 as well, and what like he like he 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 tries to keep his mental up. Like he just finished talking about uh like um all the all the prejudice that that's going on in the world. He's talking about 400 years of oppression. You know what I mean? And he says he's trying to keep his mental up, but then we go to our hook, and honestly, like I love that line because it's like amidst all this chaos, amidst all the things that are happening in the world, amidst all the corruption in the government, and amidst you know, all like nobody really seeming to have a concrete answer for how to move forward. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You know, we can just reflect on all the things that we've been through. You know what I mean? All the hardships that we've already conquered. You know what I mean? I try to keep my mental up, but I remember, and then we go to that hook, and it's like I remember all these hard things, and it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and for some reason we do. But we can't forget that there's some people that don't, and you know, like it's not an easy thing to do, and we have to really give credit and and try and support people who are struggling more. We are a big community, but sometimes we fail to act as one. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like there is a pyramid scheme that exists within the world today, and it's like the people that are on the bottom are are the most amount of people. 90% of the people are on the bottom of that on that on the bottom of that pyramid, and they're just trying to like the way the people at the top have it set it up is that we have to step on each other to get to the next part of the pyramid, and that's not the way it should be. You shouldn't have to step on your brothers and sisters to make it. Your brothers and sisters should come together as one, and we should all prosper together. But that's a story for another day. I don't think that's what we're here to talk about. I don't think we're here to talk politics.
So you've had your own experiences, and a lot of that comes out in your music, in terms of really just trying to find the truth, it being easy to lose your way. And you've had your own experiences with your own conflicts within the criminal justice system itself. What kind of supports did you have during that time?
So I I work with the program right now who's like helped me the most during all of my justice history. I guess they're called the Calgary John Howard Society. They're I think they operate all over Canada, but definitely here in Alberta. And they 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 work with at-risk youth and even adults as well. They have adult programming as well, but I'm just part of the youth programming. And what they've done for me is all throughout since like I got involved in the justice system the first time I believe when I was 13 years old, and ever since then, I I've experienced many different stages of homelessness, and I've lived in all sorts of different places, and it's been a wild ride. All I can say is it's been a wild. I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, and we could do a whole series on my life. But long story short, like it it was it was brutal, and when I started going through the criminal justice system at age 13, Calgary John Howard was like has put me in group homes. They've uh, they've um, they've subsidized places for me to live. Sometimes they're paying for it altogether. Like just like they're giving me chance after chance after chance to fix my life. You know, like chances that I don't necessarily deserve. Um, and the only reason being is because like I was 14 years old. That was the first time I got recruited to like a serious narcotics trafficking, like I would call it, I don't know, we call it a line, but like it was a business. You know what I mean? I was working for a business, and I was making pretty good money doing it, but like these were really dangerous people that I was working for, and the the things that I was exposed to at age 14 is something that no 14-year-old should have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So the people the people that work at Calgary John Howard, they're aware of these things happening to the young people here in Canada. You know what I mean? This is more common in the States. Like a lot of young people are put in these types of situations in the States, but it's less common here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But it is happening, and there is thankfully some people out there that are supporting us and are helping us out. Because if Calgary John Howard didn't exist in my life today, I firmly believe that I'd either be so indoctrinated in gang lifestyle that I wouldn't have a way out today, or I would already be dead or doing 25 years. Like you have no idea how many of the kids that I grew up with, and I mean like we grew up in juvie together. Like we spent 6 or 10 or sometimes years at a time together in cells and going to school and doing whatever. And you have no idea how many of these guys are now adults in jail with 25 years or more to serve. And they were these were my friends. Like we played football together on the field, and we were getting into trouble on the units together, it was when we were kids. The gangster lifestyle wasn't as serious, you know what I mean? Like the death touched us like every once in a while, and when it did, it was serious, but it wasn't as much. When you grow up and you hit 18, that's when bodies start everyone starts dying, and you know what I mean? Like it's your homies killing your homies, and your friends start doing these crazy drugs that are out there these days, and they start dying from the drugs, and it's just, man, it's only fun
So,
in the beginning. That's all I can say.
yeah. Where did you see your turning point?
uh, my turning point was a really dark place for me personally. I don't know if I don't know if I really want to talk about it.
That's okay. That's okay.
A part of myself. I assaulted somebody, and I was put in a tough situation. I'm a violent person by nature, but yeah, no,
And
I
that was
lost control of my anger in a way I shouldn't have lost control, and as a result of it, that's the reason I spent 4 Christmases without my daughter. So, you know, that was my turning point when I learned that was the day I learned that I was so far from God. You know, like I went through this journey, you know what I mean? Where I left home at age 13, and I was homeless in the streets, and I was struggling, and life was rough, and you know, I bounced around from place to place, and like I was a survivor during all of this, and I was just such a stubborn, hard-headed kid, and I just thought that God was taking care of me through it all, and he He most certainly was taking care of me through it all. But I thought that me and him were like, like we had a tight bond and that I was doing his work. But little by little, day by day, I was actually getting further and further away from him. I was doing less and less lordly work, and I was doing more and more of the devil's work. And it wasn't until that day, that turning point, when I finally woke up and I realized that, like, I've been, like, everything that I live, like, this whole lifestyle that is still ingrained in me to this day. Like, I still live by the code. I still, there's certain things that I still can't do and won't do. I still freak out every time I see a pair of cherries behind me, even though everything's legit and like I'm going to work. But you know what I mean? I see a cop behind me, like, oh shit. You know what I mean? There's just certain things that will never go away from me. You know what I mean? Once you've been in that lifestyle. But I just, like, oh man, I try and get I want to, I just want to get away from it, like it's
You you
it's
definitely had a lot of experience from a very young age, from the age of 13, right?
yeah,
And
yeah, no,
you've no doubt seen a lot, experienced a lot. You've seen the street life, and you've seen, like you said, friends die. You've seen friends kill friends, and through all of that, it must do a lot for your
yeah,
mental health.
and like when all this stuff is happening to people, it's horrible, and your own stuff is happening to you on top of it. You know, I mean, you're going through your own personal struggles. So like, my mental health is a mess, and I'm undiagnosed everything. Like, I won't see a doctor because when I was a little kid, like, you could tell there was something wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like, I was, for example, one time my sister locked me out of the house for hours, and like I just lost control. And like after a while, after screaming and banging on the door for hours, I just lost it. I took a hatchet to the front door. You know what I mean? But like, it was in moments like this that people were like, Jonah is like borderline, like he's got some kind of serious psychological issues, like almost a sociopath, because like I seem to have like this hairline trigger where all of a sudden I just go off. But what people fail to realize is, although that trigger is real and my anger is real, like, it's so scary when I get into that state. Like, I have to be provoked to get like that. You know what I mean? I'm never just like, it's never just like, oh, I just go off on people randomly. Like, I'm an emotionally unstable wreck, and I just like, I'll just kill anyone and destroy anything in my path. You know what I mean? That's a different level. But if I'm pushed to a point, if I'm backed into a corner, I I behave like irrationally, and I always get painted as the bad guy in the end. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, look at what Jonah did. He took the hatchet to the front door. You know what I mean? No one even talks about the fact that I got locked out of the house for 3 hours. You know what I mean? It's not even mentioned.
It's true that sometimes people will only look at one side of the lens. They don't look at the entire picture. And it's great to know that now you found this way of sort of channeling those emotions through music, and being able to release a song that really speaks to what you've maybe held inside for a very long time, and you've been able to kind of to get that out. Have you been doing a lot of writing and things of that nature for like future songs that you want to release?
Well, I've been writing songs since I was like 14, and I have a book full of like songs that I wrote. Most of them while I was in jail, actually, and none of them have beats though. You know what I mean? This was before I knew how to make music. It's only very recently that I started like learning the fundamentals and concepts. And another shout out to Tribe 1491, the guy that is leading my rap team, who's teaching us all these things, because it's only because of the inspiration that I've gained through this group at Team 1491 that has helped me release music at all. You know what I mean? Get to a point where I can sit down with the program and do the behind the scenes work and kind of like I'm not a professional mixer or master at all, but I did what I could do, and the track sounds all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and it's only progression forward, right? It's a start, and as you continue through that path, you'll see that progression as you continue.
Yeah.
Right? So it's amazing that you've been able to start and you've been able to put something out there that really speaks to your emotions, what you've been going through, some of the struggles that the barriers that you've been able to overcome, and um, further for the future in terms of hopefully being able to um, see your daughter for next Christmas, right?
Yeah, like I got I got the process started. You know what I mean? I was going through some I was going through some dark things. You know, I was going through some heavy depression. I didn't have my life together. I was basically homeless again. I was living in a group home. I was barely getting by, and I started putting the pieces back together slowly but surely. You know, I got a job and you know got my own place, and I'm like I'm still getting help. You know what I mean? I still need help because I'm like I don't have it all figured out yet. You know, I still have issues, but you know I I'm in it for the long run this time. You know, like I was playing the short game before. You know what I mean? I was just trying to make fast money. You know, like where can I make the first $1,000? You know, but now I'm just trying to like I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna like I'm doing a lot of things that I don't want to do right now, but I'm doing what I have to do
Mm-hmm.
because you know in the Great Debaters or the Great Debate or whatever, there's a great quote, and it's like you have to do. Sometimes you gotta do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do, and
Yep.
you know what I mean. Like that's a fact. That's a fact of life. Especially if you're not born with a silver spoon. If you're not born with a silver spoon, you're gonna have to do a lot of things that you just have to do so that you can do a few things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Okay. It's amazing. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining us, for sharing a little bit of your story, um, and really being able to speak to a lot of what you've experienced yourself. And I think it's amazing that you've acknowledged um, the fact that you don't have it figured out, because I don't think anybody has it figured out. I don't think any of us at all have it figured out, and it's something that it's an ongoing learning. Life is just a ongoing learning, is what it is, right? And it's great to understand when we need help and to be able to ask for help. And I'm very happy that you're able to find that, and I look forward to seeing what else you have released. So thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you for sharing the space with me and sharing a bit of your story with me.
No, thank you so much for having me on your show and letting me talk for a little bit. And yeah.
For sure, for sure. We will definitely have you back on again. If anybody has any questions, I'm actually just going to check to see if anybody had any questions here. I don't see anything, but what I am going to do is take a few minutes just to play your song. I had it saved from a certain point, but let me see if I can. Let me know if you can hear it. Okay. Can you hear it? I'm defined by crimes combined in both super wild style. The world in my home is not what I'm confined by. The finest guy, probably child. I'm recruited from the trauma. I rock like a street god. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying I'm someone gifted, getting lifted and being blessed by the alcohol. As hard as sometimes when the cops wanna stop busting off white folks like a cat shit, running from his slave masters. When we become something other than scatterers, then finally we see our children outlive the averages. Scared by power, chuckles and laughter. 100 years of oppression, this is a disaster. I try to keep my mental up, but I remember Christmas wasn't on the wish list. Now I'm doing dishes, struggling for my riches, battling with addictions. Now I move swiftly, dealing with the system, spreading wrongs to mission. I remember Christmas wasn't on the wish list. Now I'm doing dishes, struggling for my riches, battling with addictions. Now I move swiftly, dealing with the system, spreading wrongs to mission. I come through. Oh my, keep
every day got me feeling hostile. But I'm trying to change my ways, ghetto gospel. It's hard to find the truth, but it's easy to lose your ways and substance abuse. I'm up in my life, I don't have an excuse. But I had a choice, I should have fucking choose. Every time I see the mirror, hate the reflection. There's a loose kid with this used rejection. Always coming up a little less than expected. Settle for beauty, there's a thing is perfection. I remember Christmas, what's another wish list? Now I'm doing dishes, struggling for my riches. Battling with additions, now I move swiftly. Dealing with the system, spread around on mission. I remember Christmas. This one goes out to all those who helped us along the way. It's only because of you that we are here today.
Amazing. Amazing. That was amazing. We have, I see Latoya on here.
Yeah.
So Latoya is saying, you're on the right path, keep growing. And honestly, like that song, you can hear just the depth in terms of things like, I remember Christmas, it wasn't on the wish list. And not being able to see your daughter for 4 years, not being able to buy your family a present. But how that's changing, how you're changing that narrative, right? So
Yeah.
amazing. Keep up the good work, because I mean it's only up from here. So I'm grateful to be able to share the space with you. I look forward to seeing your progression as you continue on this path. And thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to really share your music with the rest of our network.
Thank you. And once again, thank you for having me on. And you have a wonderful evening.
You too. You as well. Have a good night. Okay, so that was Jonah, aka Slum, and now I've got Latoya that's coming on. So today we are featuring artists who are overcoming barriers through music. So I'm just gonna add Latoya in now.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. What's up?
I'm just here. I was just taking in Jonah's song there. It's deep.
Good. Why was I harmonizing in the background to it?
It's deep. So yeah, thank you for joining me.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Richard was saying, he's like, you have to have Latoya on. You have to have Latoya on. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, we're gonna have Latoya on. Latoya's been doing some big things. You have an amazing story. And you're really an example for so many of the young people, so many of the youth in the community. So I wanted to take the time to really just highlight you and what you're doing. So for those who don't know, if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you.
Oh my gosh, I wear so many hats. Well, like my name is Latoya Jane, all right? That's Latoya Rodney, who is the motivational speaker, did all the community work, yada, yada, yada. And then there's Jane, who's Jane from Finch. And I just released a song from Jane from Finch. So she's like the raw part of me. So together, it's Latoya Jane. Latoya Jane, she's a soft one that sings nice songs, but Jane from Finch is more, you know? So yeah, I'm a quadruple threat. I'm a mommy, a proud mommy. What else? I wear so many hats. I co-founded an organization, Redemption Reintegration Services. We got $3.5 million to do that from United Way. I also worked with John Howard Society as well, who he was talking about, which is a good agency as well. Yeah, there's just so many hats to me. People say I'm a comedian too. I don't know what I am, but I just know that I'm Latoya Jane, and I'm here to send a message through all of my music, my dancing, my speaking, everything. It's just to help like everybody grow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think you've found a way to do that through your music. Like you're an art actor, you're an artist, you're a dancer. and you found a way through your music to really shed light on more positivity, especially when right now we're looking at a lot of the artists in the city and a lot of the gun violence that's been going on in the city. A lot of the deaths has been related to a lot of the politics between artists.
Yeah, yeah, it's not nice out there right now.
It's
And
not. It's not.
it's really different, really, really different because we work so hard to pave the way, and then it's like people are taking it now and twisting it, and like we all have a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? We all like when that brother was speaking just now, I was just remembering some stuff that I went through because I wanted to tell him like everybody goes through that, fam. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want him to feel like he has like different diagnoses. No, it's just a part of life. And if you have the right people and the right resources around you, like even me having an outlet to speak right now, and
Mm-hmm.
people being able to watch me and see what's going on, like, you know, like we need this. But like I don't want him to think that he's all alone in what he went through because a lot of people go through stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the realization. Sometimes people feel like they're alone. They don't know who to talk to, who to turn to. But there's a lot who go through that. And I know you yourself have had your own experiences. So for you, like how did music save you per se?
So I started music in jail. So I went to jail when my son was 4 and I came out when he was 6. And like I was even telling my sister the other day that's something that I just feel like I could never forgive myself for. But when I went to jail, I didn't allow him to come and see me or anything like that because I just wanted to do my time and get out. So I started to do music and I didn't know how it was going to take off. It's like I had an industry in jail because like the guards and everybody used to just make me sing to everybody at nighttime to put them to sleep. And then it just became a real thing. Like I basically made my beat like this. I swear to God, I did all my songs like this on the desks, and then it just carried through the whole jail. And then I became a celebrity in jail first, and then like it just took off. I had challenges just like him, you know what I'm saying? Like when I first came out of jail, I got glorified for all the bad, so I started becoming that. That's why I could understand why a lot of youths are doing music like that. You know, don't get it twisted. But I also see the brokenness because I know it. I could identify with it. Cause when you're doing good, you speak good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, when you're doing bad, you speak bad. Because if you look at Jane from Finch, like a lot of people liked me more when I was angry. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. But when I was Jane from Finch, we used to get them hard bars and stuff. They loved me. When I sang, people loved me. But some of my fans were saying, yo, can you come back? Like, why are you like are you gonna rap again? And it's just that they were drawn to my anger and they didn't even know I was really, really angry at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I can identify to those youths and what they're doing out there, but I know they also have other stories. I know there's other things that they want to rap about, and they're just rapping about things that I don't know is gonna get them the views. A lot of them are broken. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them have they're resentful to their parents or something, and they don't even know that they could get views off of that. But I don't know. I'm telling a story still. So anything you see me doing, I'm telling a story. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling a story.
And you've been able to find a way that music is something that talks to everybody,
Yeah.
regardless of nationality, background. Music is something that can talk to everybody. So you found a way where some people may write a book, some people may do a video. You found a way where everyone is able to listen and just bump to something and feel certain parts of it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, what are some of the suggestions, like when you were inside? I know music was really what got you going. What were some of the supports that you had while you were inside, if any?
Ma, you know what? I mean, when you like agencies, organizations, like what do you mean like people? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, like people weren't there for me when I was in prison still. Like there was a few that came. I won't even lie. Like there was a few that came, but not the way how I am. Like if I had a friend in jail, like I would always go and make sure they're good, make sure their youths were good and stuff like that. Like I don't really know the support. The support I had was just the girls inside that I was rolling with. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know
Mm.
anybody else that was really there for me that I could say was there for me. Actually, like some family members, obviously, but like I don't know. I
When
don't
during,
know.
so I can imagine like during that time then that it had quite a bit. It had an impact on your mental health.
Of course it did. I was in the hole for 3 months. You want me to tell you my story in jail, what I went through? That's why. That's why I just laugh at people when they think they could do jail time, man, because they can't do jail time. I don't care which country you're in. If you're from Yard right now viewing, you can't say, oh, that's far in jail. Yo, I got my arm dislocated in jail, okay? I got my ass kicked from the guards them in jail, okay? For no reason, just because I was entertaining the women and making them feel good. So, nah, man, jail is not the place where you think you could do anything because there's no support and my mental health was distorted, especially in the hole. I didn't bathe every day. I didn't eat. They used to make youths come there and do school tours and point at me and be like, why is she? And why I wasn't even in the hole was messed up too. So like, of course like when you go to jail, you think, okay, they're gonna just, it's just a strict place where you guys all have to form a line and there's a lot of rules and there's a lot of, that's what you think. Nah, the deputy super at the time was getting his hoo-ha blown by some of the girls on the next range and everybody knew, and then whoever knew he threw in the hole, and oh my gosh, it was crazy. So yeah, my mental state, definitely, I was in the hole for 72 hours. I'll tell you one scenario which made me go crazy because I never knew how much power the guards have. I knew the police have power, but I didn't know the guards have power. So after me being on the range for 2 months, they brought me upstairs, but I didn't really know how to do my time. You know what I'm saying? That's how much time I got used to doing it in the hole by myself. I was in the cell and they were giving me a call. I was on lockdown for I don't remember, 23 hours. So they gave me a phone call. I was supposed to get an hour out. So what I would do is I would shower for 20 minutes and then go on 2 calls and call my son because my son thought I was in school the whole time.
Mm.
So I made 1 call. So that's why I knew it wasn't the 40 minutes yet. And they said, Rodney, get back to yourself. They talk to you with your last name like you're a dog. That's why I don't understand how people keep going back to jail. Like I felt like a dog in there. But anyways, when they told me to go back in my cell, I said, I didn't even make my calls yet. And they're like, I don't care, get back in the cell. So I said no. I don't have to talk to my son. I have to talk to my son before he goes to his bed. So then I said, wait. And then the guards slapped me on both sides of my face, kicked me to the ground, and all of the guards were stepping on my face, man. And I didn't even do anything. So like, I'm not gonna lie to you, as much as my mental health was distorted in prison, I feel like I needed that because I know the way how I used to move, and I don't know if people are watching right now, but everybody knows me, you know what I'm saying, from Jane and Finch, because I was that girl. I led a gang in Jane and Finch. Jane and Finch is the baddest area in Canada. And I was only like what, 100 pounds? And I led that. I did that. You know, and I'm not proud of that per se, but I'm just saying like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can imagine. It does a lot because these are the stories, these are the things that aren't told. This is what people don't know. And that's why we shed light to this too. One, for at risk youth to see that, not to glorify this particular lifestyle, but
But it
also,
was set up that way, not to cut you, sorry. It was set up that way too, because I was like a prison pipeline. I never knew that term before. But like me and my brother, because my father went to jail, my father went to prison, it was on the front papers, everybody seen it. So they knew my mom, I don't like this word, but my mom was a single mom. So they would pick on her. And my mom at the time, she didn't know how to deal with the system. She had 6 children. She would just cuss them off, you know what I'm saying? Because they would be disrespectful, you know? And then what would they do? Suspend us? Like my brother, I think my brother got suspended. I'm not lying. I think, because I know he doubled mine. So if my brother didn't get suspended 40 something times, he got suspended 50 times. I got suspended 26 times. I went to 16 different schools. I got expelled 4 times. I'm proud of myself because I still finished school after that. But it was all a setup because when you do bad in school, you go to jail. And you have to know that. That's why, like, me and my son were having a discussion the other day and he was telling me that I was controlling. But I was trying to tell him that I needed to make sure that he did everything that he was supposed to do because I didn't want my son to be a prison pipeline. They already tried to come with that whole, oh, learning disability thing and all of that. And that's what they do to these youths. So if my mom was more educated in like the social sector or whatever, like how I am, my mom would have known that we were going there. Like my little brother's dead. My other brother shot up with 18 holes in his skin, but he's still alive. And me, you know what I'm saying? I was in the gang life, but I got out, thank God. So it's like we were set up. Even when they gave my mom a place to go to in Shoreham, I don't even know how they asked my mom. Shoreham and Jamestown. I lived at 114 Jamestown Crescent. I lived at 17 Shoreham Court Unit 3. And I lived at 4020 Dundas Complex. I just, if it was me, they couldn't say, hey, you want this place for you and your son? I know my mom felt like she had to do something, but I just don't understand why my mom moved us to those places. And that's all I have to say. Like that was a setup. So I wanted you to know that it's not just that I trickled down the line and became a criminal. It was kind of given to me, if you understand. It was dressed up nicely, but living in Shoreham, running from gunshots, our house getting shot up, all that kind of stuff that I survived. Like that was all started from the prison pipeline. I'm not blaming the school alone, because my parents should have stayed together. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying those factors.
I think it highlights a lot of the systemic racism that people fail to see, especially when it comes to marginalized communities. The lack of supports, when we look at communities, the lack of community supports, the lack from schooling, housing.
I don't know if I could say that right now, though, because I feel like there's a lot of support out there. I just feel like sometimes people don't go out there and get it. I don't feel like there's a lot. Look, there's keepsakes. You know what I'm saying? There's so many. Maybe we can do with some more money, but I wouldn't say there's not enough grassroots organizations and organizations out there helping. There is a lot. No?
Would you say there was as many grassroots when you were growing up as there is now, though?
That's what I'm saying. I only had Driftwood Community Center. I only had that was my only outlet, or sorry, the Christian Center where all my friends are being buried now. Like we never had programs to go to, girls groups. Church. And that's something that I always kept close to me. That was where the programming was. That's where the free cookies and the juice was. Like, but we didn't have anything else. There wasn't nothing else. What else did we have? No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I see with my own eyes. I get booked to speak at these places. There's so many agencies out there. The Air and Milk community. There's so many agencies out there. It's which youths want to connect that way. Because as you can see, badness is drawing the youth them. And the badness benefits off of this is drawing their parents. So they don't care about no help. You understand?
Yeah.
It's parents like us now, that are tough parents that look like the ops, but it's like, nah, like we're actually the parents that want to see you make it. That's why we look controlling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes they don't realize that. But based on personal experience, based on your own experience, you know what that lifestyle is like. And that's something that you're protecting your son from.
Girl, let's just say this. Let's just say this, okay? I heard somebody say the other day that the feds are proud of me because the feds couldn't believe that I could change. I'm not bigging up the feds. I'm just saying, like, if they could say that now, because me not in them radar no more. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm actually shocked that everybody's just standing back and, like, allowing this to happen, too, with our youths, Because you said something earlier. You said politics. I actually hate that word. I don't even know why it's taken over our vocabulary so much now. You know what I'm saying? I think we should ignore it. The same way you guys ignored those riots today, you guys should ignore it till it dissolves, because we are so talented. We are so talented, okay? We can do anything. It's been proven. So why are we doing Why are we killing each other and killing each other through our lyrics? Holy, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it too. Is that a lot of people don't know their own power, especially within the Black community. And instead of working together and supporting each other, instead we're warring against each other.
Yeah, but
Right?
that's because I seen a post today and it said Black men need therapy and fathers. And I swear I thought about it because I was just like, some of the things that they resort to, remember, men are taught not to show their feelings. And that's why with my male friends, I always allow them to be like emotional. Because what are you, a monster? You're not going to show no emotion in life? Like, what are you, fake? You're going to hide and cry when you could just like let everything out now? And you need real people like that beside you because, yo, didn't you hear what that guy just said? He made it seem like it was so abnormal, you know? And it's sad because I know people have told him that, but how many of us have been through stuff? You know what I'm saying? How many of us have been through things? Like last year alone, how many of us have been through things? You know, and sometimes we just grip ourselves and just think, oh, let's just deal with it now. But there's still some good people out there that you could rely on. Look at Rachel right now. Rachel look like a hot gal. Rachel, I take the time for host me right now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going from illegal party in Brampton.
Oh no, no, you're not one of those. I'm good.
But yeah, no, it's just, yo, right now, listen, guys, listen. As you can see, everything is being controlled, right? So I feel like right now is the time when we could actually make change. You know what I'm saying? We could actually make change right now. But how are we going to do it? You know what I'm saying? What would you like to see the artists do, Rachel? Let me ask you a question. What would you like to see the artists do?
So I actually had this conversation with Richard earlier, which is part of why we had the Stop Gun Violence concert last month. Because one of the things I had said was lately we've lost so many artists recently. A lot of really, really big, talented artists. And we said, why don't we come together and show artists from Toronto in a more positive light? Because what the city sees at this point in time is negative. And for me, being able to, during the entire production of us putting that concert together, being able to see various backgrounds, various age groups, various genres, and everybody working together and collaborating together. And that's something that we don't see often. When we hear about majority of artists, it's usually them back talking each other on Instagram Live or this or that or pull up here. It's not collaborating and working together to look at the bigger picture, which is the fan base, which a lot of which are youth that are coming up now. A lot of younger youth that are coming up now. So seeing more collaboration, seeing more real life shit, to be honest with you. Allowing that, telling your own story, in terms of, and I think that was something that you were saying as well, in terms of you can speak a certain way and have that anger, but everyone's also gone through something. And allowing yourself to see that side.
And sometimes they're mad at other people. They're not even mad at their ops. They're mad at probably their mom because she didn't cook dinner. Why don't you rap about that? I swear to God, I'll sit down and listen to you rap about your mom that never cooked you dinner. Because I'll be like, holy crows, that's how the man flipped it. Like, I swear. Like, but yeah, you already know, like, at least I see some people, right? And shout out to everybody that's watching right now, too. But you said you should be able, but you guys too, you guys are supporting it. So are you guys saying that? Because I'll see people like cry when people die, but then they were just bumping their tune and look what they were saying in the song. Am I wrong? Listen to me. I'm not even a hypocrite, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you straight facts that the lifestyle is what took my little brother. You understand? I'll never stand here and be like, oh, you know, like, I know where it's coming from, and it's coming from brokenness. It's coming from pain. Take it from me. It's coming from pain. So why continue to do this? Why not just, and then even the girls just talking about getting skinned out every day. You're talking from pain. You're talking from pain. Why can't you talk about something more Why can't you talk about more sensible topics? Why are you talking about sex every second? And then you guys are getting mad when our generation is going the way it's going. I don't know. Like, I'm not a hypocrite, eh? Ask anybody. I don't even listen to certain music. If I hear you with two punchlines of straps, I'm done. That just makes me visualize my brother's dead body, and I don't want to hear it. I'm telling you the God honest truth. You could ask anybody about me. I'm real. I used to walk with a whatever. I know that life. You understand? But I know how angry I was more time. And I was angry cause what was I? I was living in housing in Scarborough. Everybody was, my youth got shot in front of one of my youths that I work with. I was at work and I had my son at work. I could say that. No, I don't work for you guys no more, Toronto Community Housing. But anyways, they killed him right on the stairs when I was at work. And my house became a community center because all the youth started coming there in morning and stuff. What did I do? I got a mic. It was like beer vomit on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Beer vomit on the mic. I had to have a real moment. I had to see my brother get shot up 18 times by our own friend that is dead right now. And I have to mind his kids who are my nephews. Yeah, my life's different. And that's why when people try to judge me and feel like they know me and they know my background and they know Jane, don't ever try to get in my life, silly. You don't know nothing what I've been through. And I don't ever try to take it out on nobody. I just try to heal the community. Somebody called me to do this. The other day I couldn't even walk. Do you guys know that? And I'm still doing lives. I have a cast on. I'm still doing lives. I'm still putting in that work. So when I talk, you have to listen because I know what I'm saying. Unless you dressed your little dead brother or something like that, then you could talk to me. If you want to say, oh, Latoya, you know, I don't care. I still want to do this kind of music. Then you could say that, I guess. My brother's killer just lost his appeal last week. All right. My story, when you guys see my movie, it's just crazy because him and the two of them killed my brother and the two of them just stabbed up each other in there. It's just, I even forgive them too. Like, listen to me, man. The only way to make it right now is if you have a positive mind. And all of us been at a place where we weren't positive. We were toxic. Like what that young man was saying earlier. The whole of us touched that. And if you guys ever lie and say that you weren't homeless before, that you weren't this before, that you weren't that, or you weren't close to being those things, you're a fucking liar. Okay? That's part of life. That's the hard life that we're living right now. But the thing is, we have to be there for one another while we grow through those things. You understand? And being there for one another is not just tuning into this. It's also when you leave this now, you carry out my name positive. Because, yo, sometimes us adults are making the youths them turn to the wrong tool. We have to stop judging them and stuff like that. You understand me? Doesn't matter what you go through in life. You're still, look, I'm still Toya. If you call me right now and say, Toya, could you give me a ride here, Toya? Can you send me money here, Toya? Can you come do a track, or Toya? Can you be in my documentary, Toya? Can you come? You ever see me take a break? I'm trying to help the problem, but I can't do it by myself. So you guys got to help do it too. You can't just rely on Richard. You can't rely on Zia with Think Twice. You can't rely on all these people. Olu with Concrete Roses. Victor in Africa, I try to do it right now. Akila still do it with Harriet Tubman Services. Brandon's still doing it. You can't rely on all those people and they're not. What about you? And it's not just money, you know, it's time.
Yeah.
You don't look at my face. My face looks slim. Sometimes I lose weight in this, you guys, and I'm still doing it. So we have to all guide these youths. You can't just be here sitting down and saying, "True, Toya," and then when a youth comes to you now, you're not guiding them. You're iffy if you want them to stay in your house or not, and you could save their life. Sorry, Rachel, I have to talk this right now because we're losing a lot in the community right now, and we have to gain it back. And I'm sick and tired of going on my social networks and seeing you guys put rest in peace. And you could have probably helped. Even if you help them by just keeping your mouth shut and making them confide in you. Because that's a very important piece as to why enough of us get mental health issues too. We don't trust you guys. You have to start doing that. You have to start being loyal. You know what I'm saying? You have to start, if you really, really like me, just follow me and stop hiding behind fake pages and stuff like that. Just stop being fake. We got to clean up this world again and stop dirtying it up like what we've been doing. All right, guys? So yeah, that's my rant of the evening.
It takes a village. It's not one person that could do this work. It takes a village, and
that's
it's really building.
nowadays people don't even want a village to raise their child. Sorry, Rachel, Because I'm gonna think about the goody two shoes people that don't want nobody to ever know things that's going on with their pitney them and stuff like that. You guys are whack because you still have to be. It's still gonna come out.
Yeah.
So you're still gonna have to. You still have to help raise. I don't care if your nephew is bad. I don't care if your niece is bad. You still have to raise them. You still have to help raise them because it takes a village. I used to tell my sisters and that they're allowed to beat my son if they want because he's not to do anything that's inappropriate and that he could feel he can get away with when just because he's my son and oh I'm gonna huff and puff. Never. If my son was ever, I even used to tell my friends that if you see my son do anything, whatever, cuff him, you know, because it takes a village to raise. I don't see what he's doing at all times.
True. It's true.
Sorry, Rachel.
No. Honestly, you're speaking facts, and it's powerful, and it's needed.
I don't
So,
care, Rachel. I'm not gonna stop until I see everybody at the dinner table again in our homes. I'm not gonna stop till I see Saturday soup being boiled again, and I could go to like anybody's house and get a cup of soup. I'm not gonna stop till I hear bedtimes in the backgrounds now, because no child has bedtime anymore, and that's not cool. I'm not gonna stop until um mothers start spending time with their children, fathers start spending time with their children, and fathers, minding your children doesn't just mean giving your children's mothers money. It means spending time with them. If you could, I used to tell dads when they used to complain to me, because everybody knows I was in the social work field for a long time, and I still actually do social work. I still go and mentor youths. But they know I would tell them, bring their child for an ice cream and bring them to the dollar store at $5 and spend time and get to know what they like and just see what they like. It's not being cheap. If a child's mother says, "What do you buy?" Are you dumb? It's the thought that matters. You see, like you don't need to spend a holy pup. Like I don't know where this little mentality is because some of us women are toxic too, guys. You guys can't just always blame it on the men. And I feel like a man should be able to go with his youth to the store and buy his youth, make them pick up 5 things so he could learn what they like. You know what I mean? And sort of like mend them in that area and groom them, grow them in that area to what they like. My parents did that for me. As bad as I was very lucky because my mom paid for vocal training. My dad sold my outfits from prison. Okay? Because it's also a generational curse why I was in jail. My dad was in jail for 18 years, but my dad used to sew my outfits from prison. My dad used to send me order from the books. Everybody in Jane and Finch used to see the truck come and knew that I was getting kicks from my dad. My dad kept me fresh. That's why I have to keep him fresh now. Big up my dad, yo. Big up my dad. 'Cause my daddy,
he
so
took care.
amazing. But he's the reason that I do music. He named me Latoya. Latoya means music. And he also like used to write me lyrics when I was 3 and 4 from prison and have me DJ it. That's why people don't know I'm a DJ first. But sometimes my daddy annoys me, but I love him so much. And I swear I wish I could do so much more for him than I'm doing right now. But I hope I can soon because he said something to me the other day. He said that he's getting old and he doesn't have as much time. And it made me really, because if anybody knows me, like, I love my dad. Like, sometimes I'll try to, like, ground him and I can't. But, like, my dad formed the way my dad, if any of the producers are watching right now, big up yourself. That song that was just done, that I just released, Big Gal Ting, that was my dad who got me that producer. My dad, okay, big up my dad, because yo, he always argues with me and tries to run my career, but yo, you're like my undercover manager, daddy. Respect. You don't know, because you don't know. You made me meet all the top of tops, okay? And I see my makeup artist from Jamaica watching 876 Beats. Big up yourself. I'm sorry again for being late, but yes, my daddy brought me to go and meet some of Ziggy Marley's family, and I told him that I was going to be late, but I'm so glad you still love me, so shout out to you. And yeah, shout out to everybody watching.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys take something from it because I'm being honest to you, like, we just all got to work together, and whatever we do, it doesn't matter if you're a nurse watching right now, it doesn't matter if you're a teacher watching right now, it doesn't matter if you, like, guys, we can all do it. I'm telling you, we can all help. And it starts out by helping ourselves, and then we can help others.
Yeah, it's a fact. I want to take some time just to recognize a couple people quickly. Natasha's on here. She was saying trust. We as a community need to learn trust of others and trust of ourselves. We've got Eddie from Hope. He's saying, what did he? Sorry, I just missed it. Where was Eddie's comment now? He's like, we need to step our bars up.
Who you mean, me, Eddie? Who
No,
needs
no,
to
not you. He's talking the community. He's like, you can make good music without talking about killing each other.
Yes, 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 yes.
Now's the time for us to stand up. Yeah, now's the time for us to stand up and support each other instead of fighting each other. We have a lot of comments coming in right now.
Happy New Year. Guys, I'm gonna be actually putting something out soon and it has him in it too, so look out for that. I used to steal cars with him, but we'll talk about that next time.
Carrie says, nice that you have a dad-daughter relationship.
I do, and let me tell you guys something about that. Sorry, I have to tell them about that. So my dad was in jail for 18 years. My daddy, like I said, like a lot of stuff started because he was in jail. Like we got picked on in schools and stuff because they knew that our mom was like by herself. And then when I went to jail, my dad came out. So that was really emotional for me because I just wrote to his parole for him to come out. My dad got over 100 years and my dad was able to come out, and they said it was my letter that affected them the most. And a lot of things, I look at my dad's life and I see it as a generational curse. That's what I'm saying. As a parent, we have to do our part. You know what I'm saying? We can't just watch our youth slip and just be like, tough love to an extent. Because as you can see, they're capturing our sons right now. You know what I'm saying? And why I love my dad is because no matter the circumstance, my dad never stopped being a dad. So for instance, as I said, my dad would order me clothes. My dad ordered me track shoes for running track because I was like the most entertaining child out of them. But yeah, I did track. I danced. My dad sewed my outfits, leather outfits for me from prison. My dad made me ceramics. Okay. I still have like a piece of the ceramic right now. And that was like over, it was a long time ago that my dad's been in jail since I was little. And my dad's always been present though. So it was never like if I never had a dad, because he always called. He always made sure he knew what was going on. When I got pregnant, he sent the money right away for me to buy a crib from his prison money. So there's no excuse for nobody. That's why when people look at me and they try to say, okay, sometimes you could get down as a father, okay, but you always have to be on your ones when you're a dad. Like, I don't like when men complain about money, especially if you're pissing out youths. Because if you're pissing out youths, you have to know how to take care of your pitney them. And then I was blessed, you know what I'm saying, to have a good father to my son in the sense of being there for him as well, you know what I'm saying? But then also incarceration played a role in that. So that's why I say it's generational curses, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. We really need to recognize the fathers that are there for their children and setting that example. And I liked what you said in regards to men needing therapy as well, because that's something, as you said before, they're taught not to show those emotions. So we really need to break that cycle, build that trust, build that truth, allow them to speak their own truth. I want to thank you so much for sharing the space, for spitting gems. You've been dropping gems all night. Very powerful. And I know we've had quite a few responses from everyone. You got to grow through it. Exactly. You got to grow through it. It's a process.
And it's a process, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not perfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt to choke a couple of my producers before. Not you, Josh. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's a process. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if Rachel bucks her toe right now, she's gonna say, "You fucking it up." No, I'm just joking. It's a process, though. Everybody has their ups. Everybody has their downs. Don't look at anybody like they're supposed to be perfect. Just try help people right now, guy. Because as you can see, it doesn't feel good when they're dropping out, right? Unexpectedly, you wake up in the morning, you see somebody's dead. What the hell? Like, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's true. Yes. Thank you for sharing the space, sharing your truth.
Really know. And make sure you guys add me up on Spotify, on Twitter, on Instagram. Make sure you download my song. Make sure you guys do what you gotta do. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna post all of the ways for people to contact you as well, so that they'll be able to add you. But thank you again for being real, dropping the gems.
All right.
thank you to everybody else for watching.
Respect.
All right. Have a
Growth.
good night.
Yeah.